as usual.
Cause you're the sweetest tapu.
Business as usual.
How you doing on this beautiful day?
Oh, Charlie, I'm good, great, fantastic, beautiful, sunny day. in a place where the sun was out today.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's goody, huh?
Make some money today.
Every day we did make money. Every day.
That's what I'm talking about.
Every day.
No. Silent.
Honestly, the first of the month about to come again now.
I'm telling you,
This month is moving.
it's more than moving.
But it
Yeah.
happens like that when the summer's about to hit. Like the summer's short already.
Yeah, and it kind of makes the days just, I mean, it just keeps,
Just go.
Well, I mean, we'll take it.
We will. I'll take the good weather.
We'll take it. What's guanin? What's
Some summer plans.
goody? What's goody bops? Goody bips. What's poppin' limpin'?
Yo, nothing. So the other day I caught the episode of the what'd you say, the biggest dance hall female artist.
Oh boy. Fantama.
I didn't even know we had
Shit. Ghana's biggest female dancehall artist.
I didn't even know we had that person who had
Me
the
crowd.
title.
O plug me and me question show them feel. I me feel it's a plug, because it's like I can just I'm tired of I'm tired of laughing. So now I just have to force feed myself with some me feely, because it's like, where do I begin with, and who am I to say she's wrong?
I guess.
Who am I to say? No, who am I to say she's wrong? Okay, let's just do a poll right now, just as for the
I feel
sake
like I'm
of.
such the wrong person to ask.
You are you're not the word is not wrong, but probably you're not the appropriate person to ask. But let's do a poll on, right now, for the sake of this podcast. Who is Ghana's biggest female dancehall artist? Dancehall as a genre
So
by itself, which I feel like that's what she tapped on right now, as it stands, as it is right now. Not talking about people who are
okay.
on the come up or have done it before, but right now.
I guess if you're saying just by one category, then fine, because
that's what she said. She said that's what I saw on Netflix with her saying. She said, I'm the biggest female dancehall artist.
Yeah, because recently I saw Ms. V say that she does dancehall, Afro beats.
Yeah, she
mixed multiple
yeah, on
things,
any day
so
I
now-
said jollof or the nina for boom.
So as of right now, I guess you can't just give
plus,
her dancehall.
And plus, I feel like that's not the type of artist that is not great. I feel it's not even good to categorize people who have been doing this thing for almost 10 years with people who've been doing it barely a year. So I feel when Fontana made that statement, she was talking with regards with her peers. So I'm still waiting. So with this poll with her peers, who's another female dancehall artist?
Listen, she took the title. Someone wants to say.
I mean, she's on Netflix, and I mean, I jiggle the booty, I jiggle the breasts, looking all juiced up and all kinds of. Oh yeah, I mean, I just fucking hated the fucking.
I like the storyline.
I hated the storyline because dude was corny as hell. I mean, you could see it all through her face that as much as she was trying to smile through it all, she knew she was dealing with a corny ass nigga.
But
I love Diamond music, but that nigga's corny in that show.
I don't know a Diamond song, but maybe if I hear it, it might be familiar.
I feel like we don't know. I know it when I hear. I would know it when I hear it, and but it's because also, and that's the thing about Young Ghana for we don't do a service so much of crossing over to other parts of African music. Specifically, other parts that don't speak English too.
Like Francophone?
Not Francophone.
Like
not Francophone. We are neighbors, so we, Anglophone, Francophone, Togo.
But we still don't promote
Francophone. We kind of used to, or it's been there before. It's not so strange to us, or it's not so. But like an East African music or Swahili type music, Kenyan music, that is not familiar. That is not like, you can't find somebody, I mean, a random Ghanaian and ask them to name you 3 Kenyan songs and they'll find even one for you.
No, that's
Yes, and I don't know exactly where he's from again, whether he's from, I think he's from
Tanzania.
Uganda. No, I think he's from Uganda.
He's not from Tanzania.
No, I think he's from Uganda. And
okay.
That's another thing. I don't know how many Ugandan or Tanzanian or Namibian.
Well, he's the biggest.
He is the biggest. And I know his records when I hear it, but I don't know his records
Like off the top of your
off
head.
the rip.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I feel I need to do a service of even finding out more because
But he's not a young guy. So
no, he's not. No, he's not. And I mean, yeah, but I the storyline, like we're saying, is a bit like, you know, off with her and him. I mean, with all of it, you know, with the
No.
ones you made me watch. Yeah,
I'm just a fan of the Wakanda guy.
Wakanda dude. I like the Wakanda
His
dude.
character, I feel like, is just
The
someone that
Namibian dude was cool.
Yeah,
dude.
I feel like he just has a personality that people would just like, oh, you know, he's a cool guy.
Yes, I
But just kudos to the fact that it's produced and created by a Ghanaian.
a Ghanaian or
So-
or partly Ghanaian. I like it.
So that alone, you know, I'm gonna give the
and for it to have another season, that means they probably did something right. You know, usually when a show gets a repeat season, or I mean it gets another season, that means they clearly did something right for them to be given a
yeah. I
season
think
two.
it's just
So,
gonna continue to grow. You could tell that the producer, the person, is investing in her thing.
Yes.
So it's only gonna, you know, when you
I
invest in
agree.
it, it's only gonna do well. So
I agree. I feel yeah.
goes
I
to
agree.
her Princess, I think it's her name. It was
No.
something like that. She's a journalist, right?
Yes, Peace. I think. Peace. I think. I don't. You know, I don't like to bomb.
I know what
people's
I
names.
know her in
But
regards
I
to some
feel
of her
it's-
journalist
her
work.
name might be Peace, not Princess. But shout out to her. She's a great journalist too. Seen some of her work. You know, with I think with Ted. You know, and with other.
Maybe.
I've seen her work. I know I have seen her work. I've chanced on her work, you know, her media work. But this is a nice show. But Fontana's storyline is, you know, I mean, it's whatever the place. But I still like the fact that it's something to, you know, cross her over other than music. You know, I just hope that she's able to take whatever this is and then, you know, kind of like hit it alongside the music, right? Because did you hear any record of hers throughout the whole series?
No, I just saw the apparently that video that Diamond was like drooling over or whatever.
Yes, but did you?
No, but I think that's again my feedback with the whole series.
Yes.
Is that you can tell that each scene was created and built by the production.
Okay.
Nothing seemed organic, and nor did they follow the people individually
Okay.
with their lives.
Yes.
So
Except the guy who had the 2 wives. You know, the guy who had not the 2 wives, but who had the 2 baby mothers. The South African dude. I
Yes,
think
but I
his storyline kind of saved the show a little because.
yeah, but I feel like his was just they did that for him because of how the other girl left. That
You're
his was
right.
just a transition to introduce.
You're right. Those two other
females.
cats.
Yeah. But kudos to him though. His baby moms are.
Yeah, he has like a nice taste rough.
No, he really does.
Oh, a nice taste rough. Yeah, Andele. Yeah, I remember his name because I was singing the Nelly song. Andele, mama, iya, oh.
Yeah.
Or I quite know what taste. Goddamn, 2 beautiful,
No, they're gorgeous.
gorgeous women. Oh, refined. And
Women, yeah, they're
women,
gorgeous.
refined. They all like, you know, carry themselves very well. And I believe one of them, you know me, I research instantly.
They were both models.
Both models. One of them, I think, was working for TVSA doing, you know, The Price is Right and other TV shows. I think.
Yes, it was something with the suitcases, whatever that game show is. Yeah,
I think The Price is Right, something like that. Yeah.
something like
Yeah, the South African version. But yeah, nice show. Yeah, we didn't finish it, but I don't
No,
know even if we will.
I
But
couldn't-
yeah,
I
nice
couldn't even
show.
finish the last season.
Yeah,
honestly,
nice show.
but
I mean, we didn't mean Kasa without talking about the fashion dude, Swanky Lanky, Swanky
I have
Banky.
nothing to say about him.
Oh yeah,
I'm gonna leave him to Nigerians.
Oye bully, no, Oye bully Kakraba. You know, I like it. I feel like it's not you're not he's not a bully, but I feel like, you know, with people like that, they have fought so hard to, like, you know, bring out that persona that they carry, and not just bring it out, but let it be the forefront in their everyday persona, because of course they are African. And you know that averagely we wouldn't in Africa, those people or people in the caliber of his are not the ones that, like, you know, are cheered on or like are, you know, it's not the status quo. So I feel that aggression that guy carries is off the rip of always having to maybe be that. But
he's also Nigerian, so
and he's Nigerian
men
too.
are
Yeah.
more aggressive.
But I feel like, bro, I don't know if you ever gonna chance of this, but if you do, listen, style for days, styles for years, but just tone it down for some of them, because you know,
he's not toning that thing.
like I feel like sometimes the charisma is too much, that it might come off tad bit of like aggression, you know.
He's not turning.
I understand it, so
He's not turning anything down.
but-
I know probably when he watched it, he still loved everything.
Oh, he will love it.
Yeah.
He
No,
will
but I
love
think
it.
He
He will
needed
love
a
it.
storyline.
He will love it.
I
He
think
will
he
love
needed a
it.
storyline,
And I think he.
especially because of him and Annie. They clearly were doing.
Who's that?
separate-
Oh, Two-Face's
Two-Face
wife.
Yeah, you know the first.
Yeah, her storyline is really like it's not really doing
The
it.
first
for
season
me.
they came in as kind of one, like a duo, right? Like best
Yeah.
friend thing. And now since they're like not friends, they kind of have to find their own storyline.
Yeah.
But again, speaking of Annie, I have a little bit of a feeling with Two-Face and him on the shows. I think Two-Face is he's boss.
Yeah, did you like Two-Face being on the show?
I think I not really. I don't like the way
Do you feel like
in which he was
do you feel like
presented.
for who Two-Face is, or who you have known him to be for the genre, that was a good look?
I think that clearly my feedback was the fact that they didn't follow people separately. I think that they should have shot Two-Face in Nigeria.
Okay.
I think bringing Two-Face out to South Africa, where it's not his main
His
base,
main
right?
hardball, his
And
main-
also,
yeah.
you're not in his place where he's the king and like he is the boss of Nigeria, right?
Do you
Where it
think he
doesn't allow
just
him
did
to
this?
display.
Do you think he did this for his wife?
I think that he did.
I feel like
I think that
do you think he
needed to.
did it just to legitimize their relationship, their marriage, and also
think that
not to
he-
let her look crazy running on this episode?
So I think that he needed to. Again, I didn't finish last season, but from all the feedback that came from the last season and how the wife presented things, or how their marriage and him and coming across as a very misogynist, like a little type of a douche husband, because he was getting children out of wedlock. I think that he had to
Yeah.
come there to legit, like to
set the record straight.
yeah.
type
But I
of-
think it was also to just present her
I feel so.
right in a better
in a good light. I feel like
better light.
I feel they are friends before a couple. They are friends before a marriage couple, and you know that based on the dynamics of his children, or the dynamics of his marriage or his relationships.
Yeah.
Because he has elder kids before, or he had kids before he had kids with Annie, right? And clearly in between, or before even he had those kids, or before he had Annie's kids, he was still in a relationship with Annie. Even before having those first kids, then they still kept at it, because I feel they're friends first, or they've worked through it all.
So-
or she's been there from the very beginning. I don't know what exactly.
So let me
it
say
is.
this. I think I can critique a little bit because we've in the same type of length of marriage that she's been in. I've been in it as a wife, right? I feel as though the first season, what she presented and what she put out there and what was the storyline was too early, in my opinion, for her to be putting it out there. I think she made it. She was too vulnerable, because you saw the pain and hurt she felt by these outside children and his behavior.
Okay.
I think that it was her job to present them and him and the boss that he is first in the first season, and maybe seasons after that you get into some of those storylines. I was not a fan in what the storyline was season 1. I think that's why I couldn't finish it. I think it was
Yeah.
very she did a lot of crying. It was a lot of sadness.
Yeah.
And if the storyline this season was last season, I think it would have been a better transition into the fact that he had all these other kids. You know what I mean? I know people know this stuff publicly, but I think that when you are in the position that you are,
Yeah.
you don't need to feed into those things initially.
You don't need to explain yourself.
Yes, I
type
think
of
you need
thing.
to give the
I feel
other...
like I feel like you are right. Not feel. Man, I better stop saying that. What you're saying is basically you presented yourself in a vulnerable state first season and made what was not really important as a first impression important. Basically, people are not supposed to see you in that light when that's the first time they are kind of seeing you. Because
that was my first time seeing her.
That was my first time seeing her too. I mean, not seeing her as a human being, but seeing her past a picture.
Okay, so that was my first time even seeing her.
I had seen a picture of both of them
as a
before.
human
I had seen something on Mummy and Noah, so I've seen a
Yeah.
picture of both of them, but I had not seen ever her. Speak or do much more than just like a.
Yeah, so that was my first
Apparently,
time.
she was an actress. I've never seen her movie before. I've never
Exactly.
seen
So
anything
I think
with
that
her
those
in it
things were
before.
better, right? I think
Yeah.
that I was my first time seeing her as a human being when that
Yes.
season 1 happened. And then my first time even learning about Two-Face in those things.
Yes.
Right? But for example, you see how the way Diamond's baby mom it's like she knows his foolery, but
Exactly.
she still stands behind him in a very
Yes,
strong aspect.
she-
And Diamond has hella kids too.
Yes, and Diamond clearly is even of like a much more of a dog on the show than
Hella
Two-Face,
dog.
And
Right,
the
and
only reason why the girl will not be deemed in any type of light is because she makes her bossness, which is the persona she carries, the forefront. She makes it like she makes him look childish. Basically, she makes him look like I'm the matured one. He's not growing up, and because he's not growing up, that's even the reasons why I'm not taking this relationship to the next level. However, I feel like it's okay because he's an entertainer. That's what he's supposed to do. Kind of like, sonning him, but not sonning him. You understand? Like, yeah, I'm thinking about having another kid surrogate wise. I'm not trying to sleep with him, but I'm just gonna have it with him because I have already my first 2 kids with him. So sonning him basically and making herself seem like a boss, which is shoot it, girl, because it's working clearly. You understanding me? And it's making dude, which I don't know who's advising him to carry that playboy persona or whatever, but maybe where he's from, that's the status quo.
Yeah, apparently he's still on that
Exactly,
level.
because shit looks tacky to me. Shit looks
So,
like
yeah, so-
what the mesh aboti. Me can't say me what anything against mesh for no, but mesh there ka de bebo oti a. And I'm sure na make an kasa we musa no ante. Wo de ka mesh bebo oti mu dia kafa. Use black mesh.
I don't think it's mesh. I think it's actual like
A material.
crafting thread.
A material and a crafting thread. Eni no nya inti fanta na otimi hwe say nyu ni pant me can see abranti ano.
But let me tell you. So yeah, I think that I think that Two-Face came on to kind of do some clean renovation work.
Yeah, I
for
think
her.
so. I think so.
But again, I'm just using the example because even look at the Adeline's baby moms.
Yeah.
They have this personality where it's just like you're still not going to take away my womanhood and the way I stand. You get what I'm trying to say? I think it's strong. It was more important for Annie to show her strength as a woman.
Yes.
And to show even
But
why
I feel
she's
like
still,
I feel like in the same light, if they were gonna let her do that, let her just do that alone, and don't let her do that
Exactly.
and have
storyline of Two-Face.
and have also the other guy that she introduced into the show start disrespecting her. So the little respect that you try to give to her, like you're tarnishing that respect in the same light. So I did not like that. I feel, they have a lot of things going on right, but just as Love and Hip Hop, just as other shows that, the storyline sometimes it just doesn't, it just doesn't give.
Exactly, because I'm
And
saying it
that's
like,
just what the problem
if
is.
a new season comes, Annie has been living on this storyline of
Yeah.
Two-Face the whole time. So it's like, okay,
Yeah.
so what new is she about to bring?
Exactly,
and she
you know,
looks
it's like-
older, so it's just like, I don't know.
I feel like they gotta project in a different light, and I don't know why that girl also left the show. But yeah, shout out to them, shout out to that show.
But I felt for her name is Nadia,
Who's that?
AKA's girlfriend.
Oh yeah,
really,
yeah. I feel like that's
Rest well.
Rest
AKA.
well, aka Rest well. The other South African guys.
Yeah, but again, so I
Ricky-
guess
Ricky
I didn't
Rick
finish.
and Costa
I didn't
Titch and
finish
the
it, but
other
yeah,
ones.
kudos to whatever's going on over there. But again, you know what I will say?
Damn, these people got a lot of time from us. But yeah, go ahead,
It
shoot me.
transitions to what I feel as though sometimes people need to do better in regards to the standards in which they present things and do things. On an image wise, they're doing really well, right? The quality of the
thing is a nice quality. Yes,
sceneries are good.
Very nice. Yes. of
Certain
course.
things are really good where on the level in which is depicting Africa.
Yes, I like that.
And people, it's really good.
I like that.
So that I'm going to give an applaud
For that, yes,
to,
I like that.
because I
But
just
don't let it looks overly staged.
yes, I mean the storyline, all that stuff, but
Not the
I'm just
storyline.
saying,
Even
like,
the
visual.
even the visually, I also feel is a tad bit tacky.
Yes,
Right, a tad bit tacky, being as it looks too majestic. Like that's not every day, especially for these folks.
of course.
It looks too social media staged.
But I think that they're
So
getting,
tone it down a little bit.
But I think that the objective of getting outside people outside of Africa,
Yes.
to actually turn it on and watch
And
it.
and then again, the show is called Young, Rich, and Famous.
Yeah, I think that they're doing that part on a visual aspect
Okay.
in order to make people make it appealing to non-Africans.
Okay.
To see it, right? Because people have a certain image
Yes,
of what
Africa
is,
looks
right?
like, yeah.
And I'm only just saying that because, we're from an African country where
Yeah.
sometimes on the visual aspect, people just don't do well in presenting things.
Yes.
So,
yes. Nice show. Muntu ya meseme nkasa emamo sa inti main shed mamo props no baby sa, but
Yes, as-
I like it. People should do things in that same type of light, and yeah, it all, me, anything that is actually counts or makes us look ultimately or as a whole how we're supposed to look, I'm there for it. Like,
Yeah.
100%.
So, that transitions over to, I saw the craziness that happened in, is it Paris with Burna Boy?
Ooh.
I'm not surprised though. I'm not even going to say, like, at this point in time, Burna Boy's accomplishments just keeps on,
Burna Boy, they already my main son
you know,
because
it keeps on going. He keeps on, let me say this. I'm not even surprised, but that's good though, because he keeps on striving. If you understand, you can tell that as an artist, as much as he's accomplished and where he is, he still feels like he's not there yet. And that, it's so admirable. It's how the Drake thing is to me, the effect where Drake can say that. Drake said it in an interview that you can be so into what you're doing and you still want to reach somewhere that you don't even realize where you've already reached.
you're already even
Yeah,
confused
like
as
he
to like
says that I still feel like I still have more to accomplish and more to reach,
1,000.
right? And that is very admirable, right, for people on that level.
I agree. I feel like, is it safe to say Burna Boy is the biggest artist on the African continent?
In my opinion, yes.
I feel like it's not just your opinion. I feel, I based everything on numbers. Burna Boy arguably is the biggest artist to ever come from the African continent. He has surpassed every single person that predecessed or that came before him. And as it stands now, he has surpassed all his peers and even the youngest. And this is not because of the Paris show. This is not because of what just happened in Paris. This is because of the collection or the collecting of the years of work and embodiment.
Yeah.
And where it has reached right now. This is when the story matters. This is when you go back to seeing where everything began from. And that's why I am standing on this end. If you are somebody who feels like you know the numbers too, or you know this business and you have been paying that much of attention, please show or argue with me, and then let me know who you feel is bigger or has a bigger impact than he has. And I know every other example that will be given will also be from Nigeria. However, you have to pay attention to every and mind you that Rema just sold out.
Yeah, Rema's next to me.
Rema just sold out India.
Yeah,
for a 3 day, I think either 3 day or 4 day,
It was 3 day or something.
3 day, 3 city
yeah, no, it was beautiful.
concert. Every single one was sold out,
But-
and so, and I'm not coming for that.
No, let me tell you about I was speechless. Let me tell you why I was speechless. There's a lot of people on this earth, and even as a black person or even as an African, we've interacted with Indians. I have never in my life
Yes,
seen Indians
yes.
engage in African music.
The last time in the main cancer back on show. The last time in the 4K with your music, na Sonny Achiba. Unim no na every crap power ya kwala
Who
kitwa
is Sonia Chiba?
Oh, unim Sonny Achiba. Unim Sonny Achiba. Sonny Achiba the Ghana for no motion many there. Ya know Sonny. Sonny na here the last person na wonya impactful Indian. Enu crapo to young Ghana for the pay. So that's the reason why it's funny like that, because that was not that's as far as much as it's funny, that's the only thing closest to an Indian or an African or a Ghanaian at the time, or African projecting or trying to do music or have
Is
Indian
this
fused music.
Is this before after Kwame, like during Kwame Nkrumah time or way after?
Oh, this is in the 90s.
Oh,
Nigga,
wow.
what the hell you mean Kwame Nkrumah time?
No, I'm just saying because he was married to
what's-
an Indian woman, so maybe I'm thinking like, hey,
No, not Fatih
hey,
Amo
this
time.
is the time when
No, not that type of not that one. No, this
That's
is
a darn shame. I don't even know him.
this Sonia Chiba, this hip life era. This is but it was deemed, or it was taken as comedy for most people. So I guess his music never was able to stand or stay. We tend to do that,
But whose fault is that? That will be our fault then, right?
That would be
Ghanaian's fault,
I
right?
feel like yes, but we'll get there because we are slowly transitioning it. But back to the Paris thing, the Paris show. Do you think that was bigger than that's bigger than any other show he's done thus far? Whether it's just what we just saw.
I'll have to in regards to venue, yeah, right?
I think that
What was the capacity?
30-something thousand.
Yeah, that's bigger than Madison.
Because that's what where did he play it last night? And that's why you have the computer just pull it up and we just, because you have to base it on the numbers. You have to base it on the
No, 40,000.
40,000.
Yeah, that's his biggest.
So yesterday was his biggest.
He sold out 40,000.
Yeah, 40,000 human beings on one night.
And those numbers are true, unlike some people.
Oh yes, though that's real numbers.
No, I'm just saying, unlike some people.
Oh yes, and that's not comp ticket. That's not comp tickets too. Then that's not tickets. Now the man say
No. I mean, those
This is
type of
real.
stadiums, the comp tickets don't come from the seats.
No. Those type of stadiums, the comp tickets are like a small boxed, like
Yeah.
space. It's like a if you do these
Security.
things for real, you know it.
Yeah.
Yes.
And you'll also know when
Yes.
you can tell when someone says sold out and it's not.
Yes, yeah, because it's sold out now. Your business way, yeah, you would know it instantly if
Especially
it is.
in
Now
venues
that
that
was a
you-
sold out event. Now and that's the reason why I'm saying the numbers. The numbers are just outstanding, and the numbers just do nothing but speak for
But
for
also,
this man.
just on the sold out part,
Yes.
right? It's easier even more than the fact when you can check it, especially when the tickets were sold out before the event. Not
Yes.
not when the event's happening.
Not
Right?
not even the day of crowd bit matter tickets.
Yes, and this is to a recent event that happened where at 9:00, 9:30, you could still go online.
Oh,
and
Ghana
buy
ni
some
na
tickets.
Ghana for that event no more have. I mean, see, but meet me thought how many some of the investigative journalists
You purchased a lot of tickets.
and Ajuna Kran and Betobi ma almost so investigation ma'am. Inti Ghana for the nyamba omo into the into Obasi answer because
Okay.
Ghana for the the day of Crown bit matter 24 tickets. So opera.
More
Right,
than that.
more than that, but nobody is trying to. Obi Yempese Ebeka who are saying for now, can't ye Ebeka, but yeah, kasa about the outstanding and beautiful job now. What Paris now yeah standing sound because you drew crackers money being baller juice ni dia ni drumu yeah mixing it with papa no
Can I ask a question though?
yeah
And I feel like only you can answer this because you were around when WizKid started, right?
Mm-hmm.
What? How come it's the now where I feel like Wizkid is now trying to strive for these types of things? Because don't you feel like as though if he didn't and it be as he was one of the largest, biggest artists,
I feel like
if he would have strived up at the time,
I feel
him
like
packing out
I feel like
would have
arguably
been easier than like chasing it now.
I feel like, and I'm saying this stupid feel again. No, I do not agree. The numbers back again is what you have to pay attention to. Wizkid is arguably part of this like top tier 3. If there's a 3 number,
There is 3.
If it's 3, it's
we
like
have to do 4 now. I'm sorry.
I mean,
You got to put Rema.
yeah, he's
been on the
peaking.
Billboard
Yeah,
for over.
Yeah, he's been on the Billboard for a long
I'm
time.
sorry.
He's
So
been on the
now it's a
Billboard
top
for a minute.
4, in
So
my
if
opinion.
yes, I guess you have standing 4 over there. But however, back to what you asked me. No, I don't agree because he's still doing arenas. He's still selling arenas. Now, provided it's not selling out in 3 days like it was. This guy was selling out concerts in record time numbers. Wizkid.
Okay.
In selling concerts in 12 minutes, selling concerts and I feel he did it alone by himself for a long time.
Okay.
And he had no competitors. So therefore, right now I'll cut him slack because people have caught on. The genre has grown, and his music has also not really developed. But a lot of his fans might argue with me with that, because that's also something for another. I feel like when I say music hasn't developed, I just feel, Burna Boy, African Giant was a whole type of or had a type of mood. Then his following album had a different trajectory that it placed, but his single that has made or done numbers more than anything is an Afrobeat song, but with an R&B or with Tony Braxton's former melody. You understand, which is different, which is not typical of what his it's not abnormal if you know Burna Boy, but it's not typical of most records that the other African Afrobeat artists would do.
He also has a big
wider audience and a big
on his production
and his production
with the Diddy
same
and stuff like that.
same as Wizkid too, but I'm just saying that sometimes the music is not as dynamic. Reasons why do I like Rema? Why do Rema is too dynamic? Rema, I feel like Rema is the most dynamic African artist.
I mean, maybe I'm just saying it because I just feel like as a fan of someone who, I just feel like at some point in time, it didn't look like Wizkid cared.
No.
Now it looks like
yes,
he cares. And
he didn't care. He didn't care because he was the only one. He didn't care because there was the comfort of, I'm the only one who was doing this. And it's very important to take account that Wizkid has been doing this for more than 13 years. We're in 2023. Even if some of his first records came out 2010, 2011, that's a long time. That's a long time, right? I don't know what time One Dance came out, right? And before One Dance came out, this was somebody who was still like, One Dance was his first international break, or I think before One Dance he even had a record with Wizkid with Chris Brown. But One Dance was what made records, or One Dance is what broke, across the world, because it was a Drake record, of course. And he was a big star before that for Drake to recognize him, to even have a record with him. So just count all those years into account. That's having too many or having a lot of time in doing this, right? So, of course, if that's in question, you have that level of comfort all the time, because it's just up until 4 or 5 years ago is when people started catching on, and in the type of records that you get me. And mind you, those times that they caught on, those times happen to also be his biggest peaks that he was also having.
Yeah,
right.
That's why I feel like that's why I'm saying it. Where I feel like for Burna Boy, who was more of a newer artist. Right.
Yes.
I just feel as though someone like Wizkid, who was an older artist, some of the stuff was like, I feel like, bro, you could have been, you know what I mean? Like
you say, because Wizkid is about to play Paris. I feel he will be able to do the same thing Burna Boy did in Paris. However, we've seen Burna Boy do it, right? And it's not like we've seen Burna Boy do it. So if Whiskey does it, it's not anything. Especially as this is coming from, yes, I'm an African, but this is coming from a Ghanaian, so I have to even shut up a little bit because who is from my place doing anything?
No, we really
right?
do have to shut up because
because
people
it's like
are competing with.
I don't even have a fucking stake in. I don't even have a fucking stake in the race. I don't even have a fucking.
No, wait, hold up. No.
Okay, no, Wizkid is a Ghanaian artist.
No, wait.
Yes.
I'm saying that when you made the statement, I'm just going to spit facts.
Yeah.
And say you can't say you in particular because you are the only Ghanaian event production team who has strived to book out a venue over 2,000. So.
Oh yes. No. As far as concerts are concerned, I have more than a stake in it because I'm a stakeholder. But as far as the country of where these people that we're speaking of come from and their representation for, yes, they represent Africa as a whole, but specifically they're Nigerian. And I've had Ghanaian artists who have been in position to maybe would have even done this better, bigger.
Doing what bigger?
They could have.
1,000?
No. I'm not saying, listen, pay it so that we don't get it wrong. I said I don't have a stake in the race because there are Ghanaian artists who have been doing it longer than these two artists that you mentioned and have gained international appeal longer than these two artists that you mentioned. Mind you that the first time that BET nominated or did African nominations, the first set of people they nominated was P Square, Kojo Entry, I think D Black, and that was the first ever one. But that was really not known. But the first time BET, which is an American company, nominated Africans that it gained popularity in Africa, right? Sarkodie was a part of it. And that's a long time ago. The first time an African artist gained access to come to the BET Cypher, which is a very important and prominent part of the BET or known part of the BET show, it was him, Sarkodie. So, and that was before. I'm sure Burna Boy was maybe in JSS3 that time. I don't know.
R2B's wasn't nominated before?
No, hell no.
They've never been nominated?
They have been nominated, but that was years after.
So, okay, I'm not going to say nothing.
Go ahead. Ask me. I mean.
No, because that's even worse. Because if Sarkodie is trying to book out a venue that's less than 2,500.
No, his latest venue is trying to book out is 1,300. I mean.
I was going to say it's less than 2,500.
Yes, it's less than that. And so,
in New York.
And you ask that, do these things matter? Yes, it does matter. Right, it does matter because the reasons why Burna Boy is booking out these venues is because it shows how much his music and his brand has grown, and it's showing how much his audience has grown. And where do you think that all these people in this room are listening to? They just care about the music? No, they care about the person who's giving them this music. So they're going to research about the person, research about where he's from, and it's going to give that place he's from a good regard. Do you know how much shit is going on in Nigeria? Like I said, there's this election bullshit that's going on. There's this SARS shit. There's like a lot of irregularities, a lot of crap that's going on. But for some reason, you will never hear these things because what is in the limelight are their giants and their musical and the entertainers. Look at the lady that just broke the Guinness World Record cooking, right? You seen that on Twitter. Like a Nigerian girl stayed up couple like 88 hours cooking and put in the country on the map.
I see Ghanaians are trying to claim.
You understand? Like now that's what that is, because it's a new world. This is no longer the time where you only claim to put in your country on the map or on the globe is by doing some sports or some any positive time of life.
So to piggyback on that, I feel as though we're in a space where people are taking people's commentary or comments or feedback as people talking shit, right? And
no,
it's not like that.
If you want to take it as like, if you want to, go ahead. Please say it.
People need to honestly, just sit down and listen. Like especially even these artists, because there's people in Ghana who have been saying this for a very long time as well. Sit down and actually just listen to the actual feedback.
I have,
right?
I have no bone off.
And don't take away your fans trying to just support you online and just say this person starts saying this and saying that. No. take what the person's saying and actually saying it. Like, you know what? Even if you feel or you think that, I don't know if I can even book out 5, at least try. Like, put the effort in and try.
Listen,
fail and try again. But don't continue to try to put the standard. And that's what I'm trying to say, the standard. We're allowing ourselves to try and achieve these low standards, which we're not even achieving those, but still want these higher accomplishments. And you won't get them if you don't try.
Because,
no, if you understand what I'm trying to say.
I understand you 100%. And the reasons why I guess it's a good point you're raising is because, averagely people will think that when you say anything about, which usually the Ghanaian or us Ghanaians don't really typically have anything great to say about one another. And that already sets off, it starts even a recipe for disaster already in the set off. So that is there given, but it also, because of that same reason, it becomes so hard to criticize when you know that notion. Because for someone like me, I don't say nothing, or you won't find me so much complaining, because I don't want to be that next, or I don't want to be deemed as that person who doesn't have anything positive to say about where they're from. However, this is a case where this is my business. This is my line of work, and it happens to be that arguably, up until now, what Inside has set itself to do is very, very much different and on a very great positive trajectory than most other people. And I'm not saying that biased because it's my company. No, I'm saying that based on what the goal has always been and what the goal is. And if you compare to the other ones and the other, businesses that are being done and what the goals are, or what they end up projecting, or what you end up seeing. Because what are we speaking about right now? We're speaking about Burna Boy's concert that is happening in Paris. Take away everything, that the attendance, about everything. What was the beautiful thing that was in light? The production of the show. Look at the production of the show. This man came from a circus, with a theme, which was like
that he's doing.
Yes, but that was the theme that he came. He came from. He came his theme, just as Beyonce is doing Renaissance and coming off like a fucking silver horse. Burna Boy is coming off like a whatever setting that he's setting up, and that's what I'm speaking of. Production. You are making you're making your fan have so much value for what they have loved in their room, so much value for the arguments that they've had with other people about why you are better or why you are greater than them. Like, them seeing you in person is making them go home and have this feeling, and it will grow into nostalgia, and they'll always want to be supportive of you and what you bring out. Now, when you keep on bringing the fucking Beetlejuice and the booty juice that you'll be thinking that, but why is it that we are not being able to get to this next place that these people are getting? It's because you do not pay, or you do not give a fuck about the little things that matter, or the big things that matter, like that. Not just the attendance, not just screaming and shouting and telling people that what you sold out a concert. No, the production of the concert, the lead up to the production of the concert, the things, the places that you're doing it at, the things that do matter.
Ooh.
Because your goal is to have a bigger thing than the next time than what you just did last.
No, but is it their goal?
No, it's not their goal. I'm shouting too much. Me both. Yeah, I'm on low volume. No, say muti the way because my jack kakra. It's frustrating. You understand what I mean? Because you know how much relationships and how much. Let's even before we get to the relationship, you know more than anybody financially how this thing draining it is. You understand? As much as it has a beautiful, light at the end of the tunnel, you know how straining it could be. You understand me? Especially when you do not have the support and you have the vision like how Inside does have. You understand me? Like it's so frustrating because nobody's saying that nobody else doesn't have the right to do something. Nobody's saying that.
So let's pull this number.
What number?
I'm pulling up numbers, right?
What numbers? You want to speak to me about numbers?
Yes. So, and this is what I'm trying to say. Strive, right? You know what I'm trying to say? Like, it's like strive. That striving and pushing yourself to achieve goals is very important.
Very, very fucking important.
You can't teach your kids it and not do it yourself.
No.
I'm sorry.
Never.
Right? So I'm saying that to say that Apollo was 15, it's saying that it's 1538. That's the capacity, right? The new venue that they're going to is 1495.
Okay, so who are we speaking about now? Sarkodie. Sarkodie's new concert in New York. You're saying that the venue is where now?
The venue capacity
It's 1495.
It's saying 1495, but it's saying maybe 1500.
Let's
However,
say
they're
15,
rounding
and
it.
so it's just around the same place, same
But
numbers.
technically, you've gone down. You're
Okay.
not. You haven't gone up.
All right, okay.
Right,
Yeah.
and you cannot count, whatever that other concert was that he had because it was other people on the bill.
And that was a doo-doo concert too.
And that venue is 2150.
That one had fights outside. It had a lot of
Yeah,
a lot of
sure.
a lot of problems,
We all
and
know
a
why,
lot of people bought tickets, were not able to go inside. It's important to listen. Nobody's trying to come for nobody, but it's important to pay attention to detail because we are trying to get to a place. You understand me? And if you have just profits in your pocket and not the truth in your fucking mouth, you will not be able to reach that place that we are supposed to be at.
I'm saying this to say that I thought it was important that if you're coming back into the same city to do an individual show and your last one you did by yourself solely was Apollo, that you should have strived to do a venue.
How many years in between? How many years in between, if I may ask?
You would know.
How many years in between the first solo and the second solo?
You would know.
12 years.
Wow. And he's accomplished a lot more between.
Yes, he's
those.
Right. He's arguably the biggest artist.
No, he's
arguably, Sarkodie is arguably the biggest artist from Ghana.
Yes, he is.
Everything and everything that sets up or that adds up for you to be that person, he is the one that has
that's
that.
why,
I'm sorry.
And that's why I'm saying what I'm saying. And I'm not saying what I'm saying to come for anyone. I'm not saying what I'm saying.
No.
I'm saying what I'm saying is that as the biggest artist from Ghana, in 2023, if you had a 12-year gap from your first concert and that capacity was 1,500 in Harlem,
Yes.
and you're now coming into Manhattan 12 years later, I'm talking about individual concerts.
Yes.
You're coming into Manhattan 12 years later.
Yes.
I had hoped
Mm-hmm.
that you would have strived to book out a venue that had more capacity, way more capacity than your first venue 12 years ago.
Especially if you've been active all throughout those years. Because
what is the point?
No, because it matters, right? And exactly that's the reason why you have a question, because what then is the point? What then is the reasons for all of these years of being active, right?
What standard are you setting?
But okay. And great. What standards are you setting for the
younger people?
for the people who are behind you?
Because Black
to
Sharif
follow?
didn't book out 2150. So you're competing on the same level as him?
It's not just he didn't book. The reason why that is even much a worse case than the Sarkodie's you're speaking of is because and if we get there, whatever. I mean, I could jump. I don't give a fuck. But I mean, because I feel like it deserves its own. It's because he has had a bigger impact in modern times than Sarkodie has ever had. Right? He's had a bigger impact in this modern time than Sarkodie has ever had.
This world of social media.
Because he is a social media era, superstar.
Artist.
You understand me? Half of the people were able to see him so quick and immediately because we're in the era of social media. It was not like that for the likes of Sarkodie. When Sarkodie did Apollo, at that time, it was a great deal because it wasn't like, you couldn't just, project or market yourself out there easily.
There wasn't
like
no...
that. Exactly.
Like TikTok.
It wasn't yes, right? So it was a great deal. Not now. He
worked harder.
And he worked much harder to do Apollo. What happened with the kids concert is being dying. Because first of all, I did that venue. Inside did that venue 4 years ago or 3 years ago.
2018, right?
2018 or 2019.
No. 18.
Yeah, 2019.
18.
No, 2019. Yes. We did that venue 2019 when it was PlayStation Theater.
Yeah,
You understand me?
It was so during the pandemic.
And that is when these are the times where intentions and things like production and things like that matter, right? Because that venue was done 2019. What year?
I haven't gone there since.
I have not been there. Make up The goal is to nkwasi na for saka plane no mo ye plane no na nkomo yes the right brothers no na mo nsa hye mu na ehu sa na nkomo ja plane na ke ne ka metimi asori atna plane so akfru ekro ba ko so asa akokro fufuro so ana da bi o uye bibi fufuro uye bibi a uwie then you'd be able to what leave the no wasa ye ne kese because wetima ye bibi what set go ama we hu say e possible say metima ye sa de we okay that's what inside did. It's me yes I no me kopeden ho. So let me
I want to clarify a statement that you said, right? So people can understand it fully, right? We are not taking away from anyone's accomplishments, however, whatever their goal is to accomplish, right? We are saying that the standard in which you guys are setting for yourselves is not an industry standard that we should be setting for the industry, right? And
this has nothing to do with no individual. This has everything to do with
the industry
as a whole, as a business, whether it's a brand or as a company. Well, so this has got no personal ties. This has got, what are you fucking projecting out there as a brand or as a business or as a company for or in the name of this country of ours?
So for an artist like Blacko, right? I would assume that he can book out the small room in Madison Square Garden.
I think he can.
No, he cannot. Clearly.
I think he. No, I'm saying that I thought he would. I thought. Sorry, I thought. No. Hold on. Apart from me thinking, the reason why I thought is because I am thinking as a company. I'm not thinking as an individual. Are you understanding?
No, I was doing it based off also the numbers and the.
Yes, I'm doing based on what the numbers have always seemed to project.
And also.
Yes.
What the country.
And what the country has hyped about.
What the countrymen.
Yes.
Have
made us
talked about it. This artist. So I want people to understand something.
Yes.
Let me. And I'm speaking numbers. We're speaking numbers, and I know numbers. And if anyone
that's all we deal with here.
Wants to know
we deal
numbers,
with nothing but that numbers. Business as numbers.
If anyone wants to know numbers, go read. Right. In the United States of America, the largest concentration of Ghanaians, number one, right, as well as West Africans as a whole as well, is this tri-state area, which is the New York, New Jersey, Connecticut, Massachusetts metropolitan area. The number of Ghanaians alone within this New York metropolitan area is in the thousands. I'm not even saying the tens of thousands. I'm saying over 60,000. Are you understanding? You following me? So if we are saying that this boy, as everyone was saying, is the largest export at this, or will be, or is the right largest export from our country, right? And the whole time that he put out music, the whole time he had his song with Burna Boy, the whole time he did everything that he did, this is his first time coming out to America. You following me? You would think that.
I'm listening.
You would assume on a numbers perspective when you're working on this business that this boy can book out over 2,000. Okay? Because you're talking about the amount of Ghanaians and West Africans alone within this tri-state metropolitan area. I'm not talking about Texas. I'm not talking about any other state or any other region but the one we're in right now, where he had his concert, because that's his first concert. Right. He did not book out 2150. And I would think that he will surpass that. I would think that there were people be out the door begging to try and get in.
I mean, that's what it was supposed to
right?
be.
So that what I'm saying off of him.
That's what's supposed to be.
So
It's
listen.
supposed to be people out there stomping and
Right.
yes, I mean
So-
that's the biggest export we've had
So
in the last 10 years.
if I'm saying what I'm saying about him,
Yes.
Soccer Day has to get what I'm saying, because if you are the artist that you are,
100%.
and you are the high in modern day time, you are the highest peak, the highest level of accomplishment. How are you going to book a venue or start promoting a venue to book out that is even smaller than 2150? And I'm just saying
I don't
on the
understand.
level, because we are not going to get where we're trying to get with these types of methods.
You are 100% right. You're 100% right. Because if anything, he should be booking a bigger venue than that. Even for the sake of nothing, his venue he's booking should be a bigger space. That's what you mean. Just for starters, his venue should have been, a bigger place.
Point blank. And let me also just say this: if Ghanaians weren't always just so focused on proving a point, just as they sold out, and to honestly have an honest conversation with people, or even say, "Yo, fans, I'm about to try and book out the biggest venue I've ever tried to book out in my life." Right? I need y'all to help. No, like I need y'all to help me. I'm not about to put a front. Are you listening to me?
I am listening to you.
I'm not about to put up a front. I'm not about to sit here and lie. I'm going to tell you straight up, yo, this is the biggest venue, and I need you guys to help me accomplish this. If artists came out even more like that transparently,
Any artist, and I know you know this, so it's a question that, I mean, it's not a question, it's like a rhetorical question, because any artist that has worked knows, or I'm asking, or knows that when working with us, what we speak about is nothing but the truth, in telling them that, listen, you're not doing well as far as this numbers is concerned. If you're doing well, we tell you you are doing well. And I think that whatever it is that you're doing, you need to do it. Any artist, most of them that we've worked with never get the points, because artists are under this impression that just as, their concerts or the shows that they play predominantly before they come here in Ghana. And those shows, because they know that people are in front of it, they assume that those numbers, I don't know if they know that most shows that are played in Ghana are not paid, or like people are not paying to enter.
no, there's no entry.
There's no entrance fee per se. And I mean these places where the venues are like large beyond, sometimes
All of them.
or most times it's for like for promotional purposes. Sometimes the artist already would have set it up or have had sponsors or whatever it is. So the area, like whoever it is that's doing it, like it's not what we saw recently. I think in a university, recently, I know most of the people that were in the crowd were not paid, they were just students, and as being students, that was their payment. As SRC, as whatever it is, that was their form of payment. That is not the same as intentionally booking out a venue and having your fans that listen to your music to go in their pockets and then purchase a ticket, most times, which is a lot of money, because these tickets are not cheap. Look at Beyonce tickets, look at Bruno Mars tickets, look at all these, and then saying that I'm intentionally going to take this money out of my pocket and pay you to come and watch you and enjoy you, or come and watch you and have you make me have fun for those 1 hour, 2 hours.
It only happens during
So
Christmas time, I
it
think.
only, yes. You
Will
understand
have
me?
their individual concerts.
And those individual concerts that people have, it's just a few of them that are charging. I'm telling you, it's just a few of them that are charging. The ones that are doing it in areas like maybe La Paz, or maybe like, they are not charging. They are not charging the people that come there.
They're just doing it for the people.
They are doing it for the people. They are give back to the people. It's supposed to actually even be like that. But a few people that are charging are like the Sarkodie's and like the Kojo Entries and the Kim Promises, and they are the few ones that charge, and they are rightfully so if they charge, because just as what I'm trying to compare it to, they booked the venue out with intentions that this is the end of the year. I want to let you guys enjoy my music whilst you are here on trips from the diaspora to come and enjoy yourself in this 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks, 3 weeks journey that you're on. So give me a little bit of money while I entertain you. And it's the same way as being intentional, booking out a venue. And in summertime like this, because we work out here, you understand me? Half of the time, people are going through a lot of stress. People haven't been to Ghana for so many years. People haven't, people don't have time to be enjoying themselves as how Ghanaians would be enjoying themselves daily in Ghana like that. So it's important for them to go to some of these shows, concerts, beauty pageants, things like that, just to let them, keep them grounded, keep them reminded of where they are from and what they are doing and how important it is to keep on. So these shows, it matters. You understand what I mean? I'm coming to a point. These shows matters. So it's not like you are just doing shows just because of the gaining money of it. And even this is before the genre became what the genre has become. So then now you take someone like Inside, where all these things that I just stated are some of the reasons why we do what we do. But also because of how Afrobeats and African music as a genre has peaked in the recent years, and how when you see something do what the genre is doing currently, you need to be able to take advantage of it in the best possible way, and not to shit on it or just to look at it from a fucking financial gain aspect, which is why a lot of these things that you see are not, it doesn't evolve, it doesn't grow. What are the things that I'm not gonna stay here and make our things seem as if ours grow? No, ours don't. The only thing that I can honestly say is that the thing that doesn't grow is the support for our events. That is the one, because unfortunately for us, there are certain people who go out their way to hinder that project, but that progress. But that's the matter for another day. But if we're talking with respects to production value, with respects to venue changes, with respects to just being able to be in not the same pace, but be in a beautiful pace with the same people that are getting these Paris venues and stuff that we are mentioning. Just not just be in these paces, but be intentional. Let your fans enjoy good production of shows. Let your fans know that, okay, one time they came to see you here and the next time they are coming to see you at a bigger place. Let them enjoy that. Let them be able to brag about you. Let them be able to say that this is what I got as value of. That's why we do what we do. So if you have the biggest artist in the modern or the past 10 years come here for his first concert ever, you don't have to do it in a room where, it's a past room. When we brought Asaka to America, after they had done all what they did throughout the pandemic, and we can speak about it if you want to, where did we put them?
Terminal.
We put them at Terminal 5. And that is a bigger space than where we had put our previous people, which is PlayStation Theater. We put them in Terminal 5. It's not just it was a bigger space, it's much more of a reputable space than where we had played previously. And also, no African had played and up to now still had headlined Terminal 5.
But also, it's so also it's because the AG who we work with,
and also
that was the next.
That was the
level
yes. We were yes. Speak
venue,
it, please. Speak it.
In which we were.
My high pick akra. My minimum
in which they owned. The other venues in which they owned were even smaller than the capacity was lower than Sony, but they had sold Sony at the time, right?
Yes.
And I also. Yeah, so they had sold Sony at the time, and the other venues that they owned in New York.
But we didn't go to Terminal because they had sold Sony. We went to Terminal because we did so well at Sony that AEG figured that, listen, this is a great production we just had with you guys. This is so great. What you guys think about working in our next venues that we have? We're given a few options. We chose to go with Terminal. Now, we would have done Terminal in 2019, but we chose to do it in 2020, and we all know how 2020 went.
So let me say this, right? Because I know even when people hear this, they're gonna talk shit, right? And this is what I will always say was set people apart.
Yes.
Right? You can talk the shit because we've never sat here and said that was sold out or we sold out or whatever.
I never say honestly, sold out. I never say those nonsense.
Very honest.
Sold out. I mean, trust. I'm quasi antro. No, I don't.
But let's also be honest. people, there was a lot of behind the
Asiatic
scenes
concept,
happening where
Asiatic
people were
research.
very intentional in sabotaging that show,
Yes.
which they are in most of the inside shows.
Yes, yes.
Which is another question I'm going to lead on to, but give me a moment.
Okay.
But one thing that we fucking do is strive. And one thing I can say is that for all the people who have talked shit, right, and say what they say, I challenge you and I dare you to take the same venues
Yeah.
and book them out.
Yeah.
And then you could talk your shit.
Because
right?
yeah.
So I'm not talking about, I've never been at Palladium. I don't know what Palladium is. I've been at Sony Theater.
I was Sony PlayStation.
Yeah, I don't know what that is.
Name Palladium,
and the reason why I don't know
I
Palladium
don't
because
know
they
them.
are not even half the cost of Sony. They are, I can even pull up their deposit for you.
They're very cheap, as you say, but
They're
it's
extremely
not-
cheap.
That is not even the case.
No.
If it's cheaper,
No.
that means financially that's smart.
No. I'm going to add that as a point.
Oh no! I get what you mean.
No.
I get what it's okay. It's very important that you put in perspective that when we did it, it was fucking 10 times, or not 10 times, exaggeration again. It was at least 3 times much more
It
expensive.
was more than 3 times because it was over, it was 60.
It was
something.
65. How much is it now? It's about
20 something?
20. Okay, yeah, it's about 3 times.
So, but the venue it costs, it was 20 something after the sound,
Yeah.
all that type of stuff. But no, when you talk about the venue just itself, it's under 20.
Yes, the venue itself, yes.
Right.
Yes.
So, but let me get to this, right? So I'm saying that people can talk their shit if they then go and have the balls to take these same venues that we've taken,
Yes.
put the same type of level of money we've put down at these venues and book them out, or even book them out, or even have
What
more
do you have, cry?
have more ticket sales than we did.
What do you have,
right?
bruh?
Then we can talk, right?
Yeah.
However, when people know that they're very intentional what they do behind the scenes,
Yes.
right? To not let things happen, right?
Yes.
Then they go and talk their shit.
Yes.
You're still, no matter what, not going to be at the level in which we're trying to strive
No.
for, right? And I'm saying this to say that because at least we're trying,
Yes.
right? And I'm saying that we're trying not only with the creativity, with the concepts and the thoughts, we're also trying with our pockets,
Oh, yes.
right? So,
Yes. That is why that stop microphone. That is Stancy. That is the reason why
Right.
there's a
However,
little bit of
but the
frustration. Yeah, go ahead.
but the real world conversations that everything I'm saying, they know, right? It's the same thing they did with the Shatta thing. Everyone knows how intentional they were behind it. And if they thought that was funny to Inside, y'all made that funny to the biggest artist that y'all have, which is Shatta. Y'all made him be laughed at. Are you understanding what I'm trying to say to you?
Yeah.
So, but what other Ghanaian has now tried to go to Irving Plaza? Who? What other Ghanaian has tried to go to Irving Plaza?
I don't know who.
Thank you. So until another one goes to try and sell it out themselves,
I don't know who.
then you can talk shit. But let's be very honest, because I have an honest question to ask you.
No, but yeah. No, but you I didn't say anything about what you just said, but go ahead. I guess
I have an honest question to ask you.
Yeah, go ahead.
Because everything I'm saying, people know. It's not even it's not debatable.
Okay.
Right? Because that's why I don't even pay attention to the jokers that when these things were happening, were saying what they're saying, because they don't even have that type of level of money in their business bank accounts. They don't have LLCs even. But let me say this. People need to be honest.
Yes.
When they're actually talking shit and really say it's about you. Really say that it's actually a personal thing.
Say that again.
They honestly, that's what I'm trying to say. People need to be honest when they're talking this
Yes,
shit,
yes.
right? And say it's about you.
No, yes, they have to
And
just say
that
it's
a
personal.
thing.
Personal.
Because let's be frank.
Yes, uh-huh.
The venue that we took for Asaka,
Yes.
other people were trying to say that we stole a concept from them from booking out a venue.
Yes.
But the venue's still there. So why are you not putting someone else? Why are you not putting that artist in there?
I quite remember that. Yes, I was told that, I don't have subscribers in team. person start name Bombi Juices now, mama. But I was told that, if you are smart, you'll be able to dissect what I'm about to say. I was told at the time, because before I put Asaka in that venue, I wanted to play somebody else but Asaka. I wanted to play somebody else and then have Asaka Dems be like opener or part of like the opener for that person. Right. And then, and this is before I even went to another person. But that person, you know, at the time, just for the for the sake of Munyan subscribing, you know, fucked up. Fucked the bag up, or made it seem as if just fucked the bag up for speeding story. And then later on, as you know, I projected to just, you know, take the risk of just making it about the boys alone, which is Asaka boys. It started to leak, or I had, or it came back to me by multiple sources that I had taken a concept of a venue that I already had booked out, or a venue that had already been offered to me 2 years, like I said previously, by the company themselves, you know, because of the previous work that we had done to them, you know, that I had stolen now, or I had taken that venue. And if that's the case, you should be able to have, you know, since I didn't take that artist there, you should be able to have, or you should have been able to take that artist there and then just easily, you know, prove exactly what I took from you, or you know, double down on what you were telling people that I had taken away from you, because that is when you would have proven your case 100%. Not go take a place which is relatively unknown and much smaller.
But that's the point, though. You have to remember. That's what I'm trying to say. People need.
So
to
then, is it a personal thing?
But I'm trying to say, you know, it is.
Send me the meaning. I didn't know first, but now it can't be nothing else but that.
No, but it is, and we have to. And that's what
it can't be. And if it's that too, I never book up because one but two sis and loss because. Bilonian me piano metiano sana na bina muhun sana say a business.
But what I'm trying to
make
say
a couple of years a billion
is that it is
dollars.
Because the thing is that even when people are doing concerts and events, you're not inside is not getting a call to help.
No, nobody's calling me.
Right?
Nobody's ever asking me for nothing.
And they're still not booking out these venues.
You know, because if you averagely somebody would think that, oh, but you don't, nobody.
No, you just say, I don't like you, Nana. I don't fuck with you, Nana.
Listen, no, it's, and please, for the average viewer or listener, don't think that maybe it's because I go out of my way not to go to people's things or not to do that. I don't have, why? How special am I? I'm a human being just like as anybody else is. I function just as anybody else is. If you invite me or if you call me or you tell me to come to a place and I am available, I will be 100% there because it's for the same cause. You would think that for the concerts and for the things that we do, my team never gets any invitation whatsoever. Now, for the few ones that we do get, we get it as like come and help us or a collaborative, and that has not.
Who is that?
That has not even happened. I think it was proposed. You remember the one some time ago about Shatawale's club event that was proposed, but it was never seen through, right? And
but we did do a club with Shatta.
No, not the Shatawale concert. You know, another. You remember somebody was doing a club event with him on a separate night, like, you know, that wanted like inside.
Oh, we weren't in the country.
Yes, we weren't in the country, but we posted it. We did everything that we could do with the person.
Same person.
Yes.
Oh,
you understand? Because like I said, I don't have subscribers now, so I'm not going to give nobody any kind of cloud juice in my life. But some people say I'm names ni so me subscribe me viewers kakra na ya me mo fancy comments na say mama na me mama names because in some the Ghana for my sumia mode and I got the fucking juice. Intimidated my mama because first it was not juice because it doesn't go to help anybody, but now it's juice because I feel the kind of stupidity that keeps on repeating itself. People just need to be made aware that fix up, because maybe me shutting up about it is not helping the case. I need to say something about it because it's not helping. How are you gonna not try and project the agenda or try and project, you know, what we are supposed to be doing when our fellow or our brothers next door or right around us are doing any and everything possible to take this thing? They're trying to surpass Americans. Do you know that Nigerians are right now trying to surpass Americans in what music? Burna Boy is doing in Paris the same thing that Beyonce is doing somewhere in the UK.
But that's what I'm trying to say to you.
So what are you telling me right now?
So what I'm trying to say to you is this, right? When you're looking back, and Ghanaians are saying what they're saying, and they are, you know, the fans are supporting some of the stuff that's going on, and they're saying what they're saying. You guys need to pay attention to the numbers. You guys need to pay it. The venue that he's even doing in Ohio is under 1,000.
Listen.
So I'm just saying this.
Listen.
Pay attention to the numbers. Don't just talk
I feel
and color with a crayon.
I think
Get the
that
math.
I think it's important to
Add the
also
math.
put one thing in perspective. Okay, so we don't only take these venues when we take these venues just with the hopes of just taking, you know, big venues just to prove points or whatever, just fill it up by good Ghanaians. No, we take these venues because, you know, previously Ghanaian concerts were being had in venues where other nationals figured that they were not really invited there. It looked too like, you know, only for us type of venues. Like it was halls, same halls that were being used for, like, you know, engagements, weddings, funerals, etc. were the same venues that were being used for concerts, or maybe gymnasiums were the places that were being used for concert venues before. So people outside Ghanaians never felt they were invited. I quite remember one of the people that was one of the groups that did. I remember somewhere in maybe 02, 03, somewhere early years of 2000. One of the concerts that one of the picnic concerts that I went to somewhere in New York was Kojo Entry, and that was out in the open. You remember when they used to have the Ghanaian picnics and stuff? You know,
No.
I
wasn't
you
participating.
wouldn't participate. Well, I knew that because I think I was on holiday from Ghana one of those trips, and then I went to that. So there was, I can't say I haven't seen that. There used to be that. I quite remember.
I think I see old time pictures from my parents.
Yes, VIP also, you know, when they were very big some time back, also had like some outside concerts, you know, a picnic type concerts in New York too. So it's been there before, so that it never looks like yeah be that and stuff, right? But the most of the concerts that were being had those times were in relatively hall-like venues, which is the same thing that you were mentioning in like the Ohio venue you just tapped on.
That's a club.
Which is like, that's even a nightclub, okay, which is not good. However, like the reasons why I guess we're saying what we're saying is because, or we chose the venues we started choosing is because we wanted other nationals that were fans of these artists to feel welcome too. So reasons why we choose the venues that we choose, because if it's at a venue where it's known, or it's like it has a lot of things within its reach, and it has the stars that on it, like, and if I say stars, I mean, like, you know, as far as like, you know, reputational or reputable stars, it has a higher number. We choose these venues because it makes the fan who is not Ghanaian feel like it's not some Ghanaian event. They feel included too. They feel like it's great enough. It's a great venue. I would want to go there too. I want to bring out my phone and take pictures at Irving Plaza. I want to bring out my phone and take pictures at Sony Theater. I want to bring out my phone and take pictures at Terminal and all these other places.
But you have to mention more on the also on the business aspect.
Oh yes, no, this is just one aspect. I'm not saying this is the reason. I'm saying this is. I think we've mentioned other reasons, but this is also another reason why we started to, or we decided to take these type of venues.
Because you
right?
also wanted the numbers to count, right?
Of course, I also wanted the numbers to count, because prior to that, we were not part of any number at all. We were not part of the conversation in the first place. Prior to that, it was just like, you know, it was nothing, right? And so, you know, it mattered that us at that time, at least I saw Inside saw the projection, or foresaw the foresight of where Afrobeat would be. And that's the reasons why I chose to do PlayStation Theater, because the collaborative effort that I got from the booking agent that I got at the time, he wanted to book the artists that were on the concert. He wanted to book them into a nightclub. I quite remember that when I spoke about booking the artists into PlayStation Theater, that person told me that I was ridiculous for thinking about a venue like that.
First of all, that person, or any, let me say that before you, because I think you don't even go.
So it's important that, you know, he wanted to play a gymnasium or a nightclub. I remember it was because it was originally supposed to be an R2B's concert. Remember?
Let me also just say,
yeah.
Let me just also say this in regards to professional etiquette, right? When you're working at a job and you leave either on bad terms, there's a lawsuit, or there's something else, right? Most people decide not to put that job on their resume.
No.
Right? Because the transition wasn't well, the relationship wasn't well, it didn't pan out however, right? Let me tell you with some of you booty scratchers. if you're gonna put something on your resume, just make sure you left the toilet clean. Because
for the
some of you
bullshit.
guys are putting some things on your resume when you know you don't fuck with the company who actually it really was that paid the whole bill of it.
Nope.
You don't fuck with the person
You don't.
in which he did it. You're trying to put it on there to make yourself look good when you know darn well it shouldn't be on your resume.
And it's all the count your mouth, yeah, because
I don't put things on my resume.
Say my
I don't have
and I say many any relationship. I mean, especially if I just played a part in it and I was not the dominant part.
But especially when you
part.
were,
you have to know
such
your
a
role.
demon.
You have to know your role.
Hold on, such a demon spread till this day is still spreading false information 100%. About it. Until this day is taking such a demonic agenda towards the things that he's doing with that one event. But you're putting it on your resume.
They all perish. They
but guess
all
what?
fall.
Guess what? You still didn't sell out.
Emphasis on not just selling it still was a booty show. All the shows subsequently have been a bing. I mean, from any all the shows subsequently, a bing, and it's important to fucking pay attention that if it's not yours, if it's not your if it's not this, if imagine